I often hear people say that it's no big deal to wear a mask. It's not harming anyone. It's the least we can do to help out. I'd like to speak to that and talk about how it may actually be causing great damage to you and to other people, a lot more than we think. Now, if you love wearing a mask, if you are 100% in support of the lockdowns and all the government measures that are being taken, and you act exactly the same at home as you do in public, then this video isn't for you at all. You are fully acting in your integrity, and you aren't going to be interested in this. But if you actually believe one thing, and you act one way at home or in private or with your friends, and you act a different way in public, then this video is for you. So first, let's talk about the effect on ourselves, on our own soul. Then we'll talk about that effect on others. There's something really important about walking in our truth. And it's more than just, I'm standing in my truth, damn it. It's bigger than that. When we're asked to live one way at home and present a different face in public, and I mean before the pandemic and everything, it splits our soul in a way. It's like we always have this dirty secret, like we always have this thing that's actually happening at home, but we always have to put on this face for the public, for the world. Sometimes it's even more personal than that. Sometimes we don't even show our true face to our family or our partner or our children, and we even have a more secret self, and we feel completely alone. I believe that we're really being asked to look at this in the current pandemic. We're really being asked to heal the reasons that we've had these splits for a long time. Why do we hide ourselves from the people we love? We're afraid that if they know our true selves, that they'll reject us, we'll end up alone. Then we go out into society. Do we want anyone to know outside of the home that maybe we have a drinking problem? Or that our partner does? Or that there's abuse? Or that we have all kinds of other addictions? So we put up a different face for the world. This is exhausting. But we fear being thrown from the herd. It's a very basic need to be accepted. There's also something where we were taught a long time ago, in school, in church, maybe in our family, that if our truth went against the norm, we had to hide it. How many people who were truly homosexual or a different gender had to live two different lives, one in public and one internally, and even maybe a different one for their family. That splits our soul in a really, really painful way. And that moment when you come out and you actually get to bring all of yourselves together, there's a real process of mending and healing, and then you just get to walk as one person. But if the world isn't ready for that, then we have to lie in public. And that's really hard. And who are we kidding? For a lot of years, people were hung, burned at the stake for being honest or being found out. Being different has not been popular and very dangerous. We've also been really socially cultured to fit in, to not stand out, to not be picked on, to not be bullied. And so we learn how to just go along with the crowd. But this is really hard on us. It's really hard on our soul. There was a point during the pandemic, many things had happened, and I realized that for me, I couldn't wear a mask anymore. Ironically, I found out recently that I actually can't breathe in them. I had to fly and I realized I can't breathe in them, and I realized how much fear came up. What would people think? What if people look at me? You know? And it was quite a process to decide that, but this actually represents what I believe. It actually represents what I believe about the pandemic. Why doesn't my truth matter? Right? I'm a born people pleaser. My truth doesn't matter. Other people's truths matter. What makes them happy matters. My truth. Better just quieten that. There's really something about walking in our truth, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be my truth. But whatever your truth is your truth. So imagine what it feels like to actually walk out in the world representing what you truly believe and how you truly live. That you don't have 3 different versions of yourself walking around right now. And of course, this is a real cauldron. This is a real place of the heat is up, to actually stand in what we believe. And it doesn't have to be some big protest. But just to honestly say, actually, this is what I believe, and it's okay that you believe something different. We're meant to be different. So the second point I want to make is about our effects on others. One of the big challenges of wearing masks all day is it perpetuates the idea that everyone's sick. We're very visual people. And when we see people with masks on, especially surgical masks, our bodies respond believing that everyone's sick. And of course they're not, right? And it perpetuates fear. And it also tells people a lie. It sends the message that you are 100% in agreement with what's going on. And even if you're not, lots of people just go along, right? But nobody knows. And so it just continues this fear, this, it's almost like the pool that we're swimming in. Just do as you're told. Keep your head down. Don't cause attention. Just do what you're supposed to do. We don't want to get in trouble. These are old trainings, old memories, maybe from our old childhood, maybe from multiple lifetimes. We've lived through some pretty tough times as humanity over the centuries. How many times within your ancestral DNA did people have to hide? Were people abused if they stood out? How much of that is running through your system? And how much is it running through the systems of the people who see you wearing a mask, especially if it's not your truth? And again, I'm not saying that everyone should believe what I believe. But wouldn't it be interesting if everyone was walking in their truth? And when we went out in public, we actually saw a true representation of how everyone felt and saw what was going on. Again, if you really love these lockdown measures and, businesses closed and people isolated and all that, if this is really something that you believe in, I'm sure this video is I'm sure it pisses you off. And that's okay. But for anyone who's questioning this, for anyone who it's not sitting right, and it bothers you every time you've got to string that thing over your face, take it seriously that it bothers you, that it is a personal journey. Everything happens for a reason. What if this whole thing is for our own personal growth, to get over all of our fears, everything that's stopped us from shining and standing in our truth before? What if this is part of that journey too? So good luck on your journey, and we'll see you out there.